changes just to get herself back into the gold, whereas Chen, a little bit spread left to right, a little bit more going on there, so the third shot looked more consistent and solid, didn't it?
Certainly did. And plenty of support for both of these athletes in the crowd here in Antalya. One of the features so far of this competition, though, is the fact that the wind really isn't playing a part. The athletes can't use it as a, well, that one went left or that one went right or went high or low because of the wind. It just hasn't been as blustery as it normally is here.
Yeah, really unusual. You know, when you make it to the finals in Antalya on the beach, you think, well, you know, see what the weather brings, but I can't believe how still it has been here today.
We're all square in this women's semi-final. Gibson of Great Britain nearest to us against Chen, Chinese Taipei. Chen to shoot first in the third end.
The arrow just came off the arrow rest there, so she just came back down. She was on launcher 4 point back.
9 points for Chen. Points.
In there again, whether she's not just putting enough pressure through, a bit of nerves.
Not that good recovery from Gibson, but in fact it was the same from Chen, both dropping in the middle. The athletes recovering from 9s in the second arrows. It's when it looks good, it looks really good, but there are certain signs from both of them of just a little bit of tension. It's short to build, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, it's so hard to replicate what it's like standing on the stage and fighting for a medal on the circuit. You've got that big screen up in front of you, cameras in your face. You can't replicate this at home. So first time this year that they're on this stage and under this pressure.
Well, good look at that arrow that's closest to the middle. What do you think?
Just looking at, that's actually the X-ray, and we're just looking to record it whether it's an X or a 10. So it won't change the score, but just what will go down the score sheet. It looked like it was in the X-ray.
Yeah, but going back to the tension, you can see it, especially in these slow motions. You can see the expression in their faces. The margins don't tend to give away too much, but both of them have shown a little bit of anxiety out there.
Yeah, and as I say, that's expected. When that shot breaks, you kind of know straight away what it felt like. Was it going to hit the middle? So they've got a good idea as soon as the arrow's released.
Well, relaxed and smiley in the crowd, not so on the shooting line. 86 points apiece after 3 ends. 2 more ends to go to decide who will move on into the gold medal match and who will have to go off and have a little bit of recovery before they come back here to shoot for bronze. Pressure builds on Konyaaltı Beach here in Antalya. Compound women's semi-final between Chen and Gibson.
9 points.
As she's adjusted and gone high. Look at the way Chen, you know, that little finger, so she's ready, she puts her thumb on the trigger and then that little finger comes in, she just keeps pulling until it breaks.
9 points again for Chen. Yes. 10 points.
Now, a chance to sneak a point into the lead for Gibson She needs a 10. She's gone high again, so we remain all square with just one end to go. Really nothing in this one at all. It's a hard one to call. Nikki, I know you like to keep it nice and open and nice and fair between the athletes. It's a polite way of saying you like to sit on the fence. Are you going to call this one? Can you see anything in their actions that make you think one's got a better chance than the other?
I mean, Ella has been more consistent in terms of her arrows are only just going up or down slightly. Chen's a little bit more over place. So Ella just started low with a little bit of nerves, not enough pressure, so she adjusted her sight. Now she's got into a rhythm a bit more and they're popping high. So I feel like Ella's got more consistency. So I'm going to be a GB member myself. I'm going to go for Ella. Come on.
That's what we like to see. A bit of impartiality in the commentary box. Nothing between the two. 114 apiece. Chen, Chinese Taipei, Gibson of Great Britain. 3 arrows to settle this compound women's individual semi-final. And it's Chen who will get us underway again. What a way to start. Oh, looked a little bit wobbly, but ended up with the same result.
Yeah, you know, it's okay to be nervous, and you can be nervous and still shoot those 10s as long as you're keeping those pressures nice. But she knew as soon as that went off, I wasn't going to hit the middle, try to use that front arm to bring it in, but not enough.
Yep.
Well, serious pressure here on for Chen. She needs to put a good arrow down. Another adjustment, another 9. So, a place in the semi-finals is up for grabs, and it's in Gibson's hands. 9 is enough. She finishes with a perfect 30 for a 144, 142 win, and Ella Gibson of Great Britain is into the gold medal match. We will see Chen Yixuan of Chinese Taipei again. In fact, we'll see her before we see Gibson again, as Chen will be back for the bronze medal match. But Nikki, you called it. What a finish, though, from Gibson.
Yeah, that's really going to give her the confidence as well. Finishing that on that 30, you know, coming back to this gold medal match now, she knows she can do it. She's still on this stadium, and she can go and shoot at 30 end. So you just got to put 5 of them together, and you're all good.
Good to see the diligence being shown from Gibson, having confirmed herself a medal, and we get confirmation of victory here for Gibson. She's still checking her arrows and equipment because, of course, she's coming back for the most important match she's ever had at a Hyundai Archery World Cup stage, where she'll be competing for gold. Before then, we need to find out who she's going to face. Women's semi-final number 2 coming up very shortly, as we take a look back at Gibson, who's taken the victory over Chen to make it to the gold medal match here in Antalya.
Is the second semi-final match in this compound women's division between Alejandra Uspiano of
Back of the
Colombia
technique from Ella.
and Lizel Yatma of Estonia.
Nice consistent shots, good power front back.
Great shots down the range, both by Gibson and the camera person.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Finishes with a perfect 30. Athletes waiting in the wings as the coaches and the line judge come out. Time now for compound women's individual semi-final number 2.
And now, please welcome the athletes to the field.
Well, here we go. Semi-final, number 2 in the women's compound individual here on Compound Saturday in Antalya, the first Hyundai Archery World Cup stage of the season. Let's go and meet the athletes.
On target number 1, representing Colombia, Alejandra Uspiano. On target number 2, representing Estonia, Lizel Yatma. The line judge for this match is David Catalan.
So here we go, it's time for the second semi-final of the women's compound individual. 28-year-old Colombian Alejandra Asquino of Colombia on target number 1 goes up against Estonia's 22-year-old Lizel Yatma. Winner goes through to face Gibson in the final, who's will take on Chen for the bronze medal, and it's Asquino to get us underway.
Hold to start off, counting her down. 20 seconds to shoot your arrow. The nerves shaking, correction, but wasn't enough. Adjustment both to the left, those 9s.
So Yatma the first to hit the centre of the target. Another long hole, but this time into the 10. Couple off to the left, made the adjustment, and in the centre. Well, another long hole, but this time it's from Yatma, but she puts him into the 10 for a 1-point lead after the first end. Early days, but Nikki, you know that wind that's been evading us? Are you starting to see signs of it getting a little gusty out there?
Yeah, it really can change here. You know, we're right on the beach, so the conditions change all day. You've got to be aware of what's going on. There's lots of flags around the stadium to see for the archers what the conditions are like and whether they need to make any adjustments.
You see those first 2 arrows there going left for Asquino. She's found the middle of the target. I wonder if that's a sign of things to come. We'll be looking out for the longer holds here. We've had 2 certainly from Asquino, who finds herself 1 point behind after the first end, and she will shoot first in the second. She has found the centre of the target though, the Colombian. Interesting to see if we continue with the long holds, and whether that wind continues to be gusty.
Yeah, to me, just doesn't look as in line. That back elbow could be around a little bit more, maybe. Compound is not always so in line, obviously, than recurve, but just a difference between these 2 archers. See Alejandra, she's bringing that back elbow around now, looks more in line with that arrow.
9 points.
Looks like that's just about to hit the line. Yatma affords herself a little smile. She's trying to stay nice and relaxed out there. Signs that Mosqueno is dialed in now.
Nine points for Yatma.
Well, a 9 or 2-9 sandwiching a 10 there. A little bit of inconsistency as well. Left, middle, right. Is she changing anything? Is the wind causing issues?
I think it's probably just nerves. You know, first time here in a Final Four. There's a lot at stake. You really want to win this match. You know, the worst place to finish, I think, any tournament is 4th, right? So if you can win this match, you know you're on the podium. If you lose this match, we've got another fight in your hands coming straight up as well. So I think it's just the nerves.
And there's been that break in competition. Only really this season starting to see things get back to something that we're used to. Scores all square between Mosqueno and Yatma. Colombia versus Estonia in the women's compound individual semi-final number 2. Nothing between them. And there's indications that Mosqueno is dialed into the centre, and it will be the Colombian who will begin end number 3.
Nine points.
Just so unusual for her. All 3 of those just dropping low, slightly left. So a consistent error, whatever it is.
10 points.
There's that collection of holes, isn't there, down the bottom left, and that one also sneaking into the same sort of area.
Yeah, whether, you know, conditions I think are coming right and left across them, so whether that's playing a factor, but she needs to move that group and get, you know, more points for her groups.
A little bit quicker there, didn't get through the countdown, the coach, as much. 29, not bad. But yeah, not on for a perfect. Well, she drops a point as well, so we remain all square. This is very tight indeed, but interesting. You talk about the grouping. Groupings are an important thing for the athletes, because if all the arrows are going in the same place, you can, and they're not the centre of the target, you can move your sight, can't you?
Absolutely, yeah. So first thing is get a group. Once you've got a group, you can move it around. If you're spreading them across, you know, the whole gold, well, not much you can do about that, right? So, you know, I would say Alejandra got the better groups, but she just missed him. Not by much, is it?
She certainly looks like she's trying to stay relaxed, Yatma. There's almost that difference you're talking about, looking for differences. There's smiles and relaxation on the blue side of the shooting line. On the Colombian side, it's not so much emotion. Well, it's working for both of them. They're all square at the moment, 86 apiece. So we go into the 4th end, and Mosqueno shoots first again.
And again, low left. Little tweak of the sight. She knew that was going to go low. We saw the front arm trying to pull up and make a difference, but arrow had already gone.
Buena dirección. Quedan 10, 9, 8. Muy bien,
10 points.
Again, indications that Scoino's dialed into the centre. She's just not being consistent enough.
10 points.
Yatma matching her.
Solo zona.
9 points for Rusciano.
Not quite sure why this is happening. You know, it's just a change in pressures, something we can't probably see. But be consistent.
9 points.
Well, just starting to see a little bit of frustration in the face of Yatma. It's almost like it was said time and time again, it's, when the opportunity comes, it's all about taking that opportunity. And Yatma's had a few chances here, but that's the first time we've seen a little bit of, well, almost annoyance look on her face.
Yeah, I think she knows that, you know, the door's been open for you at this point in a semi-final of a World Cup. Like you said, you've really got to take it, but her reactions before of laughter, I think there was a smile and a laughter after the first hour of the last set because you just clipped the 10, and you've got to stay in that mindset really. If you're relaxed, you're able to laugh things off, you're in a good place, but she can't allow that frustration to get into her now.
Scoino's got the experience over Yatma just. Individual silver at stage 3 of the Hyundai Archery World Cup last season in Paris for the Colombian. No Hyundai Archery World Cup circuit medals, individual or team for Yatma. Got 2 shots at it here. If she wins this, she's guaranteed her first medal. But it's Scoino to shoot first in end number 5.
Amor, continua. Tranquilita ahí. Quedan 10, 9. Muy bien, 10.
10 points for Rusciano.
As the Colombian moved her group into the centre.
10 points for Yatma.
Just doesn't look as comfortable, does it? Longer hold, looks like there's tension there, but broke okay.
Siéntela ahí, la zona y sigue continuo. Quedan 10, 9, 8, 7.
Oh, just on the line, just a little bit more. Move across, keep that last one in.
Nine points.
Right. This can be put out of reach now with a 10 from Scoino. Place in the gold medal match is hers if she hits the centre of the target.
7, 6, 5, 4. Muy bien.
Oh, she's done it. She came good when she needed to. Saved the best till last. A perfect 30 from Scoino. She's into the gold medal match. Can Yatma finish strong? She does. It's a 29 from her in the final end, but it wasn't quite enough. She loses just by a single point, but Scoino here is through to gold. It wasn't the most convincing of victories, but she didn't allow Yatma to get away from her, did she?
We're waiting for the official
Yeah, I
score
think there's
now.
more to come from her. Again, you know, first time back on the stage, under this pressure, so yeah, see what she can go away, reflect. She's got a match to go and think about that and come back for the gold medal match.
Let's hear it for our second finalist, Alejandra Usquiano.
Well, confirmation there that Alejandra Scoino of Colombia is through to the gold medal match where she'll face Ella Gibson of Great Britain. We're going to see Lizelle Yatma of Estonia very soon because she's going to be back to face Chen of Chinese Taipei in the bronze medal match.
Coming up next will be the Compound Women's Division bronze medal match.
Oh, it was a tense affair, that's for sure. But Esqueno battled her way through, and she will go into the gold medal match against Gibson. And coming up very shortly, we will see the return of Lizelle Yatma, as she has another shout at a medal here on the Konyelti beach in Antalya. She goes up against Chen Yixuan of Chinese Taipei.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the coaches and judges to the field of play. And now, please welcome the athletes to the field of play for the compound women's bronze medal match.
Time now for the compound women's individual bronze medal match here in Antalya at the first stage of the Hyundai Archery World Cup season. Time to introduce the athletes down on the field of play.
On target number 1, representing Chinese Taipei, Yixuan Chen. On target number 2, representing Estonia, Lizelle Yatma. The line judge for this match is Marin Haas.
Well, Nikki, a hard match here, toughest one to lose, but most important to win because you get yourself on the podium. Just a little bit, Yatma has had absolutely no recovery time at all. Chen losing the first semi-finals had 15-20 minutes. Does that make a difference?
I mean, either can go either way, can't it? You know, coming off and straight back on again, sometimes good because you've got the same feelings, or she hasn't had time to reset from the last match. We'll see.
We certainly will. A bronze medal up for grabs for the winner of this match, and it's Lizelle Yatma of Estonia who will get the match underway.
Oh, doesn't get much better than that, does it? That's going to help your confidence. Really long hold, just pulling on that back tension release, but it's close, but looks like a 9. I think she left the nerves back in that semi-final. A little bit of movement in the front arm, just trying to make a correction. Not enough. Oh, perfect opening.
Well, perfect start from Yatma.
9 points again for Chen.
27 provisionally for Chen, but perhaps that first arrow clipped the 10 ring. They will measure it. Does she find herself 3 points down after the first, or is it just going to be 2? Did you get a feel for that one, Nikki?
It was really close. We'll have to wait for the judge for that, but it's possible. archers with their coaches there as well. Really important people in their boxes, keeping them calm. Let's look and see what the judge is going to call.
Well, we saw the judge looking at it. We didn't see which way. They've got this new process on season.
Target 1, 9, 9, 9. Target 2, 10, 10, 10.
So you heard the 3 9s there. That arrow was marked down. But if we get a look at the judges when they're measuring an arrow, they'll point the finger up or down to indicate whether it's the higher score or lower. But it was a lower score for Chen. She's 3 points down after just one end. That's a mighty start from Yatma. And it will be Chen Yixuan of Chinese Taipei to shoot first in the second end.
Almost in the hole, another one just out, but a little bit closer this time. Definitely a 10. The coach talking her through the shot.
9 points for
Wide
Yatma.
9. A bit confused. Onto the other side this time.
Well, felt that she needed that 10 just to put a little bit of pressure on Yatma, but you said it at the top, Nikki. Yatma left her nerves in the semi-final, and she's gone and got a 29. Just one drop point for the Estonian. And maintains a 3-point lead. It's a different archer, isn't it? There's absolutely no nerves on the Estonian line. She's just shooting fun. Also, the other thing is that there's less of this sort of smiling, and it was a bit more sort of serious and to business.
Yeah, you know, I think, you know, Yatma's been an amazing indoor shooter. She's been there at Nîmes several times, up in the, you know, top few archers, but this is her first chance to be out here on an Archery World Cup stage, so there's a lot of pressure that brings.
Well, arrow is retrieved. Lucky Charms working for Yatma. Chen needs to find them. So straight in to the 10 at the start of end number 3. That's all she could do, shooting first. Matched by Yatma, but she's having a little sort of stretch of her front shoulder almost on every shot.
Yeah, I mean, it's not uncommon. There's a lot of tension going on, especially in this high pressure environment as well, so sometimes you see archers just having a quick stretch out in between shots.
Well, you can't ask for more from Chen. Piles the pressure on with her first perfect of the match. Matched by Yatma. Neither of these athletes have got a medal on the Hyundai Archery World Cup circuit in the individual competition. Chen has gold and silver in the teams. Yatma making her first appearance on either the individual or team range. There's a lot at stake here for these athletes.
Yeah, there really is. You know, a chance to get yourself on a podium at the World Cup. Definitely going to give you lots of confidence going into the next few stages this year.
Well, it took Chen an end to get into this. A 27 in the first, put a 3 down against Yatma, and it remains the same after 3 ends. Chen will shoot first in the fourth, trailing 89-86. She's dialed into the middle. Problem she's got is Yatma looking very relaxed. He's dialed in too.
10 points. Points again.
Look at that spirit level in the scope. You can just see that bubble floating around. I'm just going to keep that in the middle, keep the bow upright.
10 points. Perfect score again.
Well, another perfect from Chen. And it's another perfect from Yatma. The quality has arisen. It was high at the start, but it's just gone up from there. Is this going to come down to 3 9s for Chen in the first end?
It really could do. You know, the standard is high. These are the best women in the world. Yatma only dropped 1 point in these first 12 arrows, and yeah, it's going to be, she's on for a great score, and Chen just too slow out the blocks, isn't she?
Yeah, I mean, it seems really harsh when she shoots a 27, dropping just 3 points to say slow out of the box, but it is about the quality of these athletes. They are expected to hit the 10 time and time again. .50 meters down the range, trying to hit something the size of an apple for the 10. Got a good look at what a perfect score looks like on an archery target, but Chen Yixuan of Chinese Taipei dropped 3 points in the first end, and that is the difference between her and Yatma as we go into the 5th and final end. She's got a mountain to climb, and she's going to shoot first.
Yeah, she's found a groove now, hasn't she? She's shown us what made her get to this position in the first place. A bit longer hold, a little bit shaking. Don't let that brain get ahead of you.
10 points.
That looked like a real nervy arrow. But another perfect from Chen, remarkable. I think you nailed it there, Nikki, showing the form that got us to this point. But Lizelle Yatma on for a massive score here. And the bronze medal, another perfect from the Estonian, and Lizelle Yatma from Estonia at 22 years old will find herself on the individual podium at a Hyundai Archery World Cup for the first time here in Antalya. Well, celebrations for the Estonians, and congratulations from Chen, really sporting. But what was really interesting there was Yatma's interaction with her coach, and I know you coach a lot of very talented athletes. That recognition and acknowledgement to the coach that it was something that she said, something that the coach said that made the difference there.
Yeah, I think, you know, once you've realised your potential as well, and all these years of hard work that have gone into this, and, you know, they look like they've got a great relationship together, don't they, the archery coach there, so just that relief that she's got her feet on the podium.
On the podium for the first time here in Antalya, Lizelle Yatma will be back to collect her medal a little bit later on, and a sporting round of applause for the opponent that she beat to get there. Chen showing great valour as well in defeat, congratulating sincerely her opponent. Lizelle Yatma, though, collecting the bronze here in the compound women's individual. We'll see her on the podium a little later. Well, 149 out of a possible 50 for Lizelle Yatma in the bronze medal match. The toughest of matches, but the most important. And she really brought her A game, just dropping a single point in the second end. Everything else was in the 10 and the X, and there is the acknowledgement to her coach. That is something special between those two.
And now, please welcome the athletes to the field of play.
Well, just like that, it's time to go for gold here on the Kenyati beach in Antalya for the compound women's gold medal match. Stage 1 of the Hyundai Archery World Cup. Let's go down and meet the finalists.
On target number 1, representing Great Britain, Ella Gibson. On target number 2, representing Colombia, Alejandra Usquiano. And the line judge for this match is David Catalan.
So it's time to go for gold here. The British team in support of Ella Gibson, who goes up against Alejandra Usquiano. 21-year-old Brit is world number 13. The 28-year-old Colombian is the world number 9. But it will be Gibson of Great Britain to shoot first.
Yep.
Well, that's some start from her.
Really quick shot, really confident, straight in the middle.
Vamos a entrenarla. 10, 9, 8, yes.
11 points for Usquiano.
As I'd expect from Alejandra as well, a bit longer, she always is, she's using that back tension. Also a 10.
Yep.
So close. Another 10 points.
Igualita, Ale. Disfrútala ahí. Buen ritmo. En mucho tiempo. 10, 9, muy bien. 9 arriba.
Now that one
It's a 9 point.
marked as a 9. Just slightly obscured by the first arrow.
9 points from
Just
Gibson.
dropping 1 point, and a little bit of controlled disappointment.
En mucho tiempo. Trabájala. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
Wow,
2.
this is a long hold. Wow, she's got away with a 9, I think there. 28, not a bad score, but Gibson scored a confident 29 and is looking like she means business.
Yeah, she's really in form, isn't she? She's been coming through the last couple of years and just getting better and better. Her qualifying score's been brilliant. You know, she shoots so well, and it's just a matter of her getting this experience now at the top end on these sort of stages where she'll start to get these medals.
Yeah, you talk about qualifying scores. The Brits scored a 697, which is exactly the same as Esqueno, ranked 5th and 6th for the knockout stages. Gibson, she was the European individual silver medalist last year as her British teammates cheer her on, but she's never won an individual Hyundai Archery World Cup medal. It's her first one, sorry, an individual medal I should say. She got a gold in the mixed team in Berlin last year. Won her first individual medal, gold. She leads here, so Esqueno, silver medalist from Paris last year, shoots first in end number 2.
Third point.
Yep.
10 points again.
Zona y continuo.
A bit quick on that shot routine, straight in the middle. A little bit of shaking.
Yep.
Helped it a little bit, didn't she? She just lifted her arm, but it went straight in the X.
Solo zona y continuo. Zona y continuo. Eso es. Muy bien.
Muy bien indeed, a perfect from Esqueno, and the high five with her coach, a signal of her confidence. And it's a 29 from Gibson to bring the two athletes back level after 2. 2 points dropped by both athletes. Esqueno has dialed into the centre and shot a perfect 30 in the second end. Once an athlete dials in, Nikki, it's not often they dial out again, is it?
Not in these sort of conditions. It's so still today. So yeah, I think once you've got your confidence up, the shot's breaking well. It might change when you get to the 5th end and that pressure comes back, and it's all about just keeping your mind on the job, keeping your mind on the process, and really trying to avoid anything about outcome. You know, Ella's gone back to the coach there, Simon Scott, in her box, and he's made her laugh and, you know, just relax about it all.
Well, time for end number 3 of the compound women's individual gold medal match. There's nothing between Ella Gibson of Great Britain and Alejandra Esqueno of Colombia. Will be the Brit to get the 3rd end underway.
Yep. Good end.
10 points. Next.
No nos pide mucho, vamos. Marca zona y continuo. Zona y continuo. Seguimos. 8, 7.
10 points for Luciano.
Yep.
I think she's dialed in now. Look at the amount of arrows she's got in that X-ring.
Baja la que está cómoda. Aprovecha el clima. Buena zona y continuo. 8, 7.
Just popping high, just next to another arrow hole that's been up there as well. So a repeated mistake.
Right.
9 points.
Feel that wasn't quite right for Gibson. Held it a bit longer.
Solo zona y continuo. Zona. Zona, tú sabes. Como tú sabes hacerlo. Firme ese brazo. 7, 6.
Needs the 10 to draw level. She gets another 9. And Gibson is back in the lead after 3.
Gibson is the lead with 1 point.
Just by a single point. But it's interesting, isn't it, that aside from that last arrow for Gibson in that last end, she's been much more consistent in her rhythm and the delivery of the arrow, whereas we're seeing long holds and short holds from Esqueno. It's not the consistency we'd expect from any Colombian archer.
Yeah, I mean, what's key is it's not how long you're holding for, but it's the consistency, shot after shot after shot, that you're doing the same thing again. So, yeah, Squeno seems to be varying, like you said, sometimes really a long hold, sometimes a bit shorter. But, yeah, Ella's got that more consistency. But the pattern I'm seeing with Ella, though, is it's that third arrow. The third arrow's been a 9 every time. So whether she's just getting a little bit more nervous through the 3 arrows, or her brain's going into outcome mode. Oh, can I get perfect here? Can I take the lead? Can I push it a bit further? I don't know, but she's got to just stick with her process. Those good shots are great. They're all in the X.
87 for Ella Gibson of Great Britain, 86 for Alejandra Squeno of Colombia. Colombian finds herself behind again, so she will shoot first in end number 4. This is for the first individual gold medal of the new outdoor season.
Third point.
Good go.
Fast, powerful. See that bow jump out of her hand towards the target. Better. I mean, Alejandra is such a great shooter. We've seen her so many times in these finals, part of that Colombian team. A fantastic archer.
Yeah.
She's up against an in-form Ella Gibson. The hunt for her first individual stage win. Yeah. Perfect. 30.
Yep.
Oh, is it the curse of the third arrow again? It's marked as a 10. Looked like it clipped the line, but I'm wondering if they're just going to double check that one.
Yeah, it did look close, and she did try and just raise her arm. She knew where it was going to go. I think Simon there just having a little look down the scope to see if he can tell what it is.
There is that bottom arrow. It is clipping the line clearly. So it's a perfect from both of the athletes. This is Squeno's second perfect. She got 30 in the second end. Matched to that in the fourth. It's a first perfect for Ella Gibson. Both archers starting to settle in, and there's not much left of this gold medal match. We go to end number 5. Gibson leading 117 over Squeno's 116. Colombia will shoot first. Whatever happens here, we're going to have a brand new stage winner.
Yep.
Both of them determined to make it them. Wow.
Yep.
Oh, this is high quality. You can't see any nerves at all now. Well, a dropped point from Squeno. The chance has opened up for Ella Gibson. An 8 to draw level. Anything more, and she's booked herself a place in the Hyundai Archery World Cup final. Oh, it's a brilliant, perfect score to end the match. Ella Gibson has got her first Hyundai Archery World Cup individual stage medal, and it's a gold one. And she's confirmed herself a place in the Hyundai Archery World Cup finals at the very first time of asking this season here in Antalya. Well, very sporting from Sara Lopez and the Colombian team in the crowd. Clearly, Ella Gibson's popular on the stage, having beaten the Colombian in the final, still getting a very sincere round of applause. It was high quality from both the athletes, a little bit of inconsistency, unexpected from Alejandra Vizcaino, but Gibson would have been a tough opponent for anyone here. She's taken gold in Antalya. Nikki, what a performance from Ella Gibson.
Yeah, it really was. Like I say, she's been building up over the last few years, you know, getting better and better, amazing qualifying scores, and now she's converting it into medals at these big events.
Well, it's not a bad spot to start the new Hyundai Archery World Cup season. You just look across to the practice range here, right next to the finals range. There's Adrian Gontier there warming up for the men's individual semi-finals coming up very shortly.
Ella, first Final Four, first stage win, first ticket to the World Cup final. What a day.
Ella, gerçekten her şeyin bir ilkini yaşadığımız bir gün diyebiliriz. Bugün sona kaldım ve çok gerçekten ciddi bir başarı öyküsü izledik sayende. Neler dersin?
Yeah, it feels amazing. I don't really know what to say. I didn't really expect my first time in the Final Four would bring me a gold, but I'm really, really happy it did.
Gerçekten bunu beklemiyordum. Bunun için çok heyecanlıyım, çok mutluyum ve gerçekten beklentimin çok üstünde oldu. Çok çok fazla mutluyum.
The level of that match was exceptional. Last end, tens coming from both sides of the field. How did you keep your cool under that kind of pressure?
Ya bu kadar büyük bir baskı altında nasıl böyle bir başarıya ulaştın? Bunu seni etkiledi mi? Ne dersin, ne düşünürsün?
To be honest, I don't really think I did keep my cool. I felt really nervous and was shaking so much. I just kept telling myself that shooting tens isn't that hard. It's really easy. Let's not make this harder than it needs to be. It's just easy. And just went with that until I got to my last arrow, and shooting a 10 then it was really hard, but I did what I needed to, and I'm really glad I did.
Kesinlikle rahat olduğumu düşünmüyorum. Gerçekten çok heyecanlandım ve çok fazla heyecanlandığımı söyleyebilirim. Ama yaptım ve yaptıkça da devamı geldi. Bundan dolayı da çok mutluyum. Çok teşekkür ediyorum. Gerçekten çok da heyecanlı ve endişeliydim.
Last year in Antalya, second at the European Championships. This year in Antalya, winner ticket to the World Cup final. What are you looking forward to for the rest of the year and the opportunities ahead?
Evet, yine ikinci sefer Antalya'dasın. Antalya'da bir galibiyetin daha oldu. Yine burada bir başarıya daha imza attın. İkinci sefer ne düşünüyorsun? Yine Antalya'dayız.
Honestly, I'm just looking forward to all of it, to compete more, hopefully to be able to get more experience on a finals field under my belt. It still feels very new to me, so I want to do that as much as possible. I'm also really looking forward to the World Games. It'll be the first time I'm going there, and I'm staying out in the States for 3 weeks around then, so I think it will be a really nice month, and I'll enjoy it a lot.
Benim için gerçekten çok etkileyici ve çok verimli oldu. Bütün hepsine katılmak ve buralarda yer almak benim kendimi ifade etmem için de büyük bir şans oldu ve çok mutluyum burada yer aldığım ve bulunduğum için.
It's been a long time since Britain has had an individual winner of a World Cup stage. How much does it mean to you to be the one that brings it back?
Evet, kendi ülken adına da tabii ki de kendi ülken adına da yaptığım bir büyük başarıydı. Bu senin için, bunu tekrar almak ülken için ne hissettiriyor sana karşı?
God, it means so much. I mean, I was talking to my coach yesterday about me just being really nervous for this weekend, simply because we don't normally have recurve and compound success at the same trip. And he said to me, okay, that's true, so let's change it, make a change. Let's, change it and be the person that improves things in the UK and means that we're more on this stage and winning more medals than we have before.
Evet, İngiltere ve kendi ülkem için bunları değiştirmek benim için büyük bir gurur ve gurur kaynağı olmaya devam ediyor. Kendi ülkem için de bir şeyleri değiştiriyor olmak ve bir şeylerin öncülüğünü yapmak benim için büyük bir mutluluk oluyor.
Congratulations once
Çok
again.
tebrik ediyoruz, sağ olun.
Thank you.
Well, what a lovely interview. Very jolly, cheerful demeanour, but very, very shallow. Below that demeanour is that solid athlete. She's so determined, and you can see that in that, and just underneath that interview. But really wonderful to hear from her. A long time, as Chris Wells said in his interview with her, since a Brit has won an individual stage. Simon Terry, and the person sitting next to me, Nikki Hunt, other British winners on the stage. But what a performance from Ella Gibson. Not just the gold medal, but the performance was superb.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, Ella is so dedicated. She's a full-time archer. She's put absolutely everything into this. She decided not to go to university and just, you know, shoot arrows and do everything. But she spends so much time doing equipment, learning everything, testing everything. You know, she deserves this. She's done so well.
Yeah, demeanour, veiling the determination of an archer who could go on to do something special. Just 21 years old, and has now got her first Hyundai Archery World Cup stage win under her belt, and booked herself a place in the finals. And she's already looking forward to the World Games in Alabama, the United States of America. And right now, she's going to have perhaps the best experience of her archery career so far. She comes out with the other medalists. It's time to present the medals for the compound women's individual here at stage 1 of the Hyundai Archery World Cup Series.
Medals will be presented by City of Antalya Governor, Mr. Ersin Yazıcı. Flowers will be presented by Antalya Youth and Sports Provincial Director, Mr. Yavuz Gülhan. Bronze medal, representing Estonia.
Well, first time on the individual podium, collecting the bronze. It's Lisel Yatma of Estonia.
Silver medal, representing Colombia, Alejandra Uspiano.
Alejandra Uspiano of Colombia picked up a silver medal in the individual tournament at stage 3 of the Hyundai Archery World Cup in Paris last year. This is her second time on the individual podium, and it's a second silver medal.
And gold medal, representing Great Britain, Ella Gibson.
It's her first time on the individual podium. She's just 21 years old. It's Ella Gibson of Great Britain, joining an elite band of British individual gold medalists. I think this might not be the last time we see her on this podium. Probably not the last time we'll see her on the top. Ella Gibson was just brilliant today, taking gold here in Antalya.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Great Britain.
Well, it's been a while since the British national anthem's been played in the individual tournament at the Hyundai Archery World Cup. We've heard it here first for Ella Gibson, collecting her first individual stage medal here in Antalya, and it's a gold one. She beat Esqueno on the left in the final and collected the silver. And Isal Yatmar collecting her first ever stage medal as well for Estonia in bronze. So that's the individual tournament complete, and as we can see, Gibson at the top of the pile from Esqueno and Yatmar, who beat Chen of Chinese Taipei in the bronze medal match. But the important thing here is Gibson has booked her place in the Hyundai Archery World Cup final at the end of the season. Well, Nikki, we take a look back over that brilliant women's set of medal matches, and of course the semi-finals as well. There is the view of a first-time winner. What a performance from her.
Yeah, really solid throughout. You know, she deserves it so much. She's trained so hard for this moment. Finally got up there and just done it.
Raising the bow to the skies. I think this will be the first time of many that we will see Gibson on top of the podium. Coming up very shortly, we are going to turn our attention to the men's compound individual. Well, coming up right now, it's time for the compound men's individual final four. Let's go and meet them.
Mike Schlosser, Netherlands.
Jan Pizarro, Puerto Rico.
Adrien Gontier, France. Jean-Philippe Boulge, France.
Well, four superstars in the lineup. Here's how they got to the semi-finals. Mr. Perfect, top of the pile, goes up against Jean-Philippe Boulge in semi-final number one. There's another Frenchman in the second semi-final. Gontier beating Chen in the quarters. Goes up against Jean Pizarro of Puerto Rico. A bit of a surprise contender here for the president of the Puerto Rican Federation. With this shot, you get a very good idea of how tight this venue is. They've really managed to cram a lot into the space. And everyone out in their Saturday best. Well, waiting in anticipation. There's a Puerto Rican fan, or the French fans are there.
Please welcome the coaches and judges to the field of play for the first semi-final match in the compound men's division.
If I'm not mistaken, that was Lisa Barbalan in the middle of the French supporters. There's a good contingent of the delegations here from all over the globe.
And now, please welcome the athletes to the field of play.
Time for the action though now as we go to semi-final number one. Let's go down to the field of play for the introduction of the athletes for the compound men's individual semi-final.
On target number one, representing Netherlands, Mike Schlosser. On target number two, representing France, Jean-Philippe Boulge. Line judge for this match is Marine Haas.
So athletes introduced out here on the field of play. Mr. Perfect, Mike Schlüsser, a 3-times Hyundai Archery World Cup final champion, including the last 2, going up against a 2-time individual stage bronze medalist, Jean-Philippe Bouche of France. What a matchup here in the first semi-final. Schlüsser of the Netherlands will get this semi-final underway.
Starting as we know he means to go on. Almost didn't look happy that day. A little bit of a movement of his arm to the right, but straight in the centre.
Well, Mr. Perfect starts with a perfect. Well, if that is the tone of things to come, we've got Mr. Perfect against Monsieur Parfait. Nothing outside the middle. A couple of X's from Mike Schlüsser. Is that 3 from Bush?
Yeah, it was. That X-ring is just inside the 10. It still scores 10 points, but in the qualification round we score those just to decide between people if they've scored the same points overall. But yeah, just showing the quality, isn't it, of how tight these arrows are together.
Get a good close-up there of the sights and the level that Nicky's talking about, where they want the spirit level to be right in the middle, very level. Avoid the arrow going off in the wrong direction. I mean, this is an incredible start. 3 X's from Jean-Philippe Bouche. A 10 and 2 X's from Mike Schlüsser. Now one's missed the centre. Schlüsser to shoot first in the second.
A 10, but still making an adjustment. Not quite in the middle enough. See that little fibre glow pin in the centre of the sight. And another little adjustment, just slightly to the right in the X-ring there.
9 points.
Oh, yes. Quality of this match is incredible. Mike Schlüsser with a grouping much bigger than a €1 coin. And that grouping's not bad at all, but you can see the disappointment of a single dropped point from JP Bush. Nicky, a 29 out of 30 is an incredible score, unless you're facing Mike Schlüsser.
Yeah, I mean, any of these top guys in compound are really shooting near perfect scores anyway, so I mean, at this level, you can't really afford to drop points, especially in these conditions. Like, it's unheard of for Antalya to be so still and calm, and you know, we are expecting really high scores from this group.
A great view of both archers at full draw. Try and look, just keep their calm, and you don't see any expression on their face. But Schlüsser has just snuck into the lead. He hasn't missed the centre of the target yet. Just at 1-9 from Bush, and he'll get in number 3 underway.
He clearly wasn't happy with that shot. He looked away because he knew something wasn't right, but it was all lined up and it went in a 10. So he's got to push the reset button mentally in his process, just get back into this.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Looks nervous, doesn't he? That arrow maybe just falling off the rest. Bit of shaking. He's got a back tension, so thumb comes off the peg.
9 points.
Yeah, something did not go right there at the beginning, and that was a great shot, really, to see close up how much tension there was in JP Bush's draw. Wow, but look at this. The grouping is outstanding. Mike Schlüsser. What? I mean, he's on 90. We talked about this before, haven't we? We've got all the way through to the 15th hour. He's not missed the centre, and then he drops the ball. It doesn't look like that here, though, does it?
Oh, I don't know, Crib. It's when you call, oh, he's on for a perfect, and then that's where it normally goes wrong. So, you know, we'll try that out in the 5th end, hopefully.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm sure Mikey Schlüsser blamed me as well when he's missed that shot at a 150. I mean, he's shot plenty of them, let's be fair, Mike Schlüsser. I'm sure JP Bush has had his fair share of 150s as well. Like you say, these archers are almost expected to be in the centre of the target with every single shot. But now we've talked about it, of course. Mike Schlüsser bound to drop a point, but he hasn't so far. 90 out of 90 for him, 88 out of 90 for JP Bush. The quality of the first men's semi-final of the Hyundai Archery World Cup season 2022 is absolutely stunning.
Great shot. I think that's going to help his confidence. Keep that shot process going. Just a little bit to the right, little tweak on the sight.
Yeah, quite a lot of them have gone up there, and irrespective of his tweaking, he's got that amazing grouping there. Well, incredible quality remains here. Bush getting another perfect score. And we said, as soon as I mentioned the 150, that Mike Schlüsser was going to drop one. It's marked as a 9 for a measure, but that did look out, didn't it?
Yeah, it's difficult to tell from that angle. We haven't got a clear angle there of the arrow in the line, but we'll find out.
Perhaps it's a little closer than I thought.
Target 1, 10, 10, 9. Target 2, 10, 10, 10.
We get a close-up of both the athletes. Good look at the equipment as well, what they're using. Tuned individually, but it was a 29 for Mike Schlüsser. He still leads, despite a perfect from JP Bush, because the Frenchman is on 118 against Schlüsser's 119. So the start of the fifth will begin with JP Bush. Just doesn't look happy, but there's nothing really that's obvious, is there?
Yeah, I mean, he's shooting a back tension. It might just be the way he's trying to make those shots go off. Maybe he's cheating the release aid a little bit. He's getting annoyed at himself for the way he's setting them off. It's hard to tell. It's such an intrinsic feeling, but as an archer, you know what that lovely shot feels like. You know, if you're a golf player or a hockey player, when you strike the ball perfectly and you get that kind of beautiful vibration back through the stick or the club. Same thing in archery. You know as an archer what it feels like.
Long hold here. And dropping into the 9 for a 147 out of 150 finish. Is it going to be a 149 for Mike Schlüsser? Yes, it is. We didn't even need to see the target because he told us. He dropped just a single point, Mike Schlüsser. The third arrow of the fourth end was his sole 9 in a cluster of 10s and X's. A dominant performance from Mr. Perfect, and he is through to the gold medal match. Jean-Philippe Bush will come back for bronze here in Antalya a little bit later. Well, first off, Nikki, Mikey Schlüsser, incredible performance again, starting the season as he finished the last.
Yeah, he's always up there, isn't he? You know, you kind of don't see a Final Four without him in it now. That is why he's called Mr. Perfect. He just makes his way hit every time. Great archer.
Yeah, and get confirmation from the stadium announcer that he is the winner here. But JP Bush, you noticed something, especially on that last arrow, that may be a bit of a giveaway as to why he was so upset.
Yeah, I could just see that back elbow come off a little bit, just release the pressure a little bit. I think he was having a big battle mentally in his head to make those executions, and it's going to be interesting to see him back in the bronze match now. He's got a little bit of time to see if he can sort himself out, reset, and come back even stronger.
Between Adrien Gontier of France and Jean Pizarro of Puerto Rico.
Take a look back over that semi-final. A very close look at the equipment there of Bush. The sun's not quite setting here in Antalya, but the sunglasses make out like it is. Well, Schlüsser through to the gold medal match from semi-final number 1. It's time now for the athletes to come out for semi-final number 2. The winner will face Schlüsser for gold and book their place at the Hyundai Archery World Cup final at the end of this season. Let's go down to the field of play for the athlete introductions here for this compound men's individual semi-final.
On target number 1, representing France, Adrien Gontier. On target number 2, representing Puerto Rico, Jean Pizarro. The flying judge for this match is David Catalan.
Well, Adrien Gontier picked up an individual bronze medal at the second stage of the 2021 Hyundai Archery World Cup season in Lausanne. And Team European silver last year as well. Jean Pizarro has never been this far The Puerto Rican is the president of his country's federation. He's a coach, and this is the best he has ever done as an athlete. A chance for a shot at gold if he can win this semi-final, and it will be Pizarro to get us underway. A pretty solid start from the Puerto Rican.
Real big flyer of a follow through there, but I think he's just trying to give it perhaps a little bit more power, thinking it was going to go low. I think he just lost the pressures a little bit. Dropped down.
Back up in the 10s to finish. 10 to guarantee the lead for Gontier. We'll be looking at that measure as well. This 29 could easily turn into a 30. Confident start from both of them though.
Yeah, just that slip in the middle for Pizarro. I think he just lost a little bit of pressure front and back, and it just dropped low. But other than that, two other really nice, confident shots. So you can really get back into this.
Look at Sara Lopez looking on Jean Pizarro.
10, 8, 10. Forward.
Nice look back over the shots between the two. And Gontier finds himself with a 2-point lead, getting the first arrow marked up. So a perfect 30 start from Adrien Gontier. So just dropping the second arrow in the first end to go 2 down. So he's going to shoot first in end number 2.
Lovely balanced shot that time. Nice follow through, front arm and back arm. Much longer hold. Straight in the middle.
Well, a perfect from President Pizarro. A first drop point from Gontier. So he holds the lead, but only by a point now. And Pizarro's confidence will be riding high after a perfect 30 in the second end. Really solid performance from the Puerto Rican. It definitely wouldn't be, he wouldn't have been on anyone's prediction this to be in the top 4, but he's showing here that he's the real deal.
Yeah, I mean, he's not come through this far before, but he qualified so well. He was second in qualification with a 7:05. So, you know, he's come to this tournament just obviously really well prepared, and he's out here to beat everyone.
Target 1, 10, 10, 9. Target 2, 10, 10, 10.
getting a look at the arrow rest that the archers put their arrow on. A real view of the intricacy of the equipment, which is individualized, a bespoke kit for every single archer. Gontier leading 59-58, so it will be Pizarro to get end number 3 underway.
Pizarro begins with 10 points.
Other than that one poor arrow, he's looking really solid, isn't he, in this match?
9 points.
Yeah, so you look at the holes in the target. They're all in a little group, just high in the 10, but they're all in a group there. And another one. Another perfect. You look at the spread of Gontier's arrows, just a little bit wider. I mean, it's not much, but it is a little bit wider. And like you say, that the outlier on Pizarro's target really stands out because the grouping is so good otherwise. A perfect from Gontier, though, maintains the lead for the Frenchman. Is it that 8 that's going to make the difference, do you think?
It may well do. I mean, you know, 8s at this level are uncommon, but we've got 6 arrows each to go yet, so anything can happen.
Yeah, it only takes a couple of 9s from Gontier to open this one up. The way that Pizarro is shooting is quite phenomenal, and in some respects, and I'm not sure even he would have expected to be here. The pressure's really off.
It can go either way, can't it? The other thing is, like, you have the break until you get to this final 4, so you have a night or two just think on it, and your brain kind of gets ahead of itself sometimes, but it's just about staying in the present, not allowing yourself to get ahead.
Well, just 1 point in this compound men's individual semi-final, place up in the gold medal match for grabs. Pizarro trailing by 1 point. Puerto Rican will shoot first in end number 4.
10 points.
Just starting to get a little bit high, a little tweak on the sight there, bring that group down a touch.
Drive point for Gontier.
The door just opened for Pizarro. And the adjustment puts Pizarro back into the grouping that he's got.
Yeah, really wild back arm, isn't it? But it's obviously his style, he's doing it in every shot.
Perfect number 3 in a row. Ooh, this is a pressure shot.
Yes.
And he puts it into the 10. We are all square here. Gontier 119, Pizarro 119. And Nicky, look, it's hard not to repeat what you said because it is the only real feature of the match so far. That 8 from Pizarro is really the only thing on his scorecard that stands out because everything else has been right in the middle, and more so, it's all been in a tiny little group as well.
Yeah, he really is grouping so well. He looks comfortable, the shots are got a lovely balance and follow through. Gontier, this wild back arm, he really is obviously powering through that back arm, but he's just been a little bit more inconsistent. We're all tied up, but we're talking about these groups that they've got, and it just seems to be a little bit wider for Gontier.
Yeah, it does, and I think the pressure builds as well for the Frenchman here, having led from the very first arrow effectively, certainly the first end. Now finds himself drawn level, and Pizarro will shoot first in the final end as well. So he can lay down a marker. The pressure here is going to switch from side to side on the shooting line. Jean Pizarro to get end number 5 underway, and we're all square on 118 points each. Oh, my heart rate went up a little bit there. That was the longest hold I think we've seen from Pizarro.
Yeah, he still made a good shot of it though. A little bit longer, but straight in that 10.
Start to see a little bit of frustration or anxiety creeping in on Gontier's face. But he gets a 10 as well. Oh, the first one too high outside of the 10. Door open for Gontier here. This is in his hands again.
Yes.
Confident nod there. Another long hole, but that's a 10 for a 29. But this is in Gontier's hands, a 10, and he's through to the gold medal match. Oh, it's just about on the line. A little smile. He knows that one was close, but he's just about done enough here. Gontier winning 148 to 147, but it was an absolute humdinger. There is the Frenchman's target. You see that 9 creeping up. Second and the fourth ends, the 2 9s, the 2 arrows outside of that centre circle. There is Adrien Gontier of France, will go on to compete for the gold medal. He'll face Mike Schluss of the Netherlands in that final. But we will see Jean Pizarro back almost immediately, in fact, as he was up against JP Bulch for the bronze medal. We take a look back over that. You have a look at this, Nikki, the wild backhand that you were talking about.
Yeah, you know, it's just become his style, isn't it? Just a more flamboyant back arm, which you see a big follow through. The Puerto Rican, much more kind of standard, I guess, of what we normally see. That follow through, you want power going through the front arm, power going through the back arm as the shot breaks.
So Gontier through to the gold medal match, where he'll face Schlesser. Coming up very shortly, we'll go to the bronze medal match, the 2 losing semi-finalists, JP Bulch of France and Jean Pizarro of Puerto Rico, to face each other for a chance at the podium here in Antalya.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the coaches and judges to the field of play.
There's that famous French smile. French had a good day here, particularly in the compound men's individual with JP Bulch making it through to the final 4. He's coming up next in the bronze medal match, and then it'll be Adrien Gontier face Schlesser in the gold medal match. But it is time to see JP Bulch going up against Jean Pizarro. It's France versus Puerto Rico for the compound men's individual bronze medal. Let's go down for the athlete introductions.
On target number 1, representing France, Jean-Philippe Bulch. On target number 2, representing Puerto Rico, John Pizarro. The line judge for this match is Marin Haas.
So a chance here for JP Bush to collect his 3rd individual stage bronze medal. I believe his 3rd stage medal of any colour as well. And a chance for Jean Pizarro of Puerto Rico to pick up his 1st medal on an individual World Cup stage. What a matchup. You have to say the pressure is on JP Bush. He's the one that will be expected to take this medal, but it's Pizarro of Puerto Rico to get us underway.
Points for Pizarro.
A slightly longer hold than we've seen before, but just missing out on that 10.
Third point. Nine points again.
Dropping one as well, just talking to himself there, a little bit of self-talk. Got to push the reset button now, get back into this.
Man, speaking, JP Bush was talking to himself there. Apologies to any lip readers out there, but into the 9 as well, and Pizarro has found the centre of the target. Bush a 10-4, a mini lead. Gets the 10, but he still doesn't look happy. Didn't look happy in his semi-final, and he doesn't look happy here despite the 29.
Yeah, I think it's the way he's executing. We definitely saw in the semi-final, I think it was in the last end where he was up at full draw. We saw that elbow come forward, so I think he's struggling a little bit mentally with just keeping the normal shot moving and working for him. He's just got to keep going with it.
I might seem a little unusual talking about the execution process because he's getting such good scores, but it's when things start to go wrong, isn't it? That if your execution isn't right, you don't know how to correct it. You can see his frustration there.
Yeah, all you want to do at this point as an archer is walk off the field and go do a bit of practice and come back in maybe half an hour when you've settled into it again, but you're not going to let him do that.
I don't think they will. No, I don't think they will let him go and do that. Matters not though, because Bush finds himself 1 point up here in the men's compound individual bronze medal match. Jean Pizarro of Puerto Rico will get the 2nd end underway.
Points.
A little shake of the head. Not happy at all with this process.
Points from Pizarro.
Just see him come off again, that backhand. He's mentally struggling just to keep the power on. His brain's telling him, oh, we can relax now, we can relax now. It is verging on, dare I say it, a bit of target panic, I think.
Oh, perfect from Pizarro. perfect from Bush. Now, it means he holds the lead, 59-58, as you can see. Nikki, talk about target panic, because that's, you mentioned that, the TP's a terrifying thing for an archer, right?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So what's going on through the brain is that when the shot goes off, your brain learns that, oh, we can relax now. So they're getting to a point where, you know, he thinks, oh, the shot's about to go off, and oh, we can relax. And that's where we saw that back elbow sort of come forward a little bit when he hadn't released yet. A horrible place to be. You just got to keep your brain on, just pushing and pulling and just making that shot happen.
Yeah, get a good look at some of these replays here. At 2 perfects, and we're talking about target panic, and it's the first World Cup circuit event of the season. Third end underway by Pizarro with a 10. Pizarro's starting to put some pressure on Bush here, just when he needs to as well.
Yeah, he's settling in now, isn't he? Got that groove. Perhaps he can feel the tension that's happening over this side of the field.
Another drop point presents another opportunity for Bush. Can he go too clear with a 10? Oh, I mean, it's a superb XXX looks of things for Bush, and yet just 3 hours ago we were talking about target panic. He's extended his lead. He's going to, in some respects, he's putting too much pressure on himself, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, that's where target panic comes from. It's think about the outcome. It's too much information going on in your brain. That's why I keep talking about sticking to the process a lot. If you make it simple, but he's just managing it right now. It's not a very nice place to be because you kind of don't know what's going to happen next. And when you're in the flow and the shots are just like breaking and everything's running as you want it to, it's so brilliant. You know, you get these lovely feelings. But he is just managing himself right now, and he's doing a great job of it.
He is doing a great job. Perfect 3 X's for Bush, and he goes 89-87 up. Look, Pizarro's not done much wrong in this. A couple of nines to start things off, open the door, but that's the difference between the two. Pizarro will get end number 4 underway. 6 more arrows for him to keep up his chance of getting on the podium here in Antalya.
Just not quite steady, is he? Just twitching to get into full draw.
Managing it well, I think, is a little bit of an understatement.
Yeah.
He's having the heebie-jeebies in a massive way, the Frenchman. Long hole from Pizarro, though, but he gets it into the X as well.
The shake of the head. I mean, it is all about, you know, crucial now. Can he keep holding it together? He's doing so well.
The 9 opens the door again. Really struggling, as you say, Nikki, to get into full draw there. changed his eye line and everything, but look, it's another perfect. I mean, it's almost like he needs to go off in this break here, have a little cry in the corner somewhere, and then come back out. But if he could do this when he's under so much pressure, putting himself under so much pressure, imagine what he could do with the freedom of being relaxed.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, he's just going to have to do some resetting after this, and sometimes that's what people do. You know, they get into a stage where they are sort of target panicky, and then just go away, reset, get back to that normal shot process. But the key to this all is having a really good mental process, something that it's going to fill your conscious mind, something that's going to allow your body just to do what you trained it to do over and over again. But in this situation, there's been lots of things running through his brain, outcomes, you know, trying to win here, and just got to put that all to the side.
Is there a thing here where, you know, not shooting well, not feeling comfortable, and still coming away potentially with a bronze medal, you can come away from that and say, well, actually, do you know what, even when I'm in that difficult situation, I'm still pretty good?
Yeah, but it's just a horrible place to be.
Yeah. If only you could see Nikki Hunt's face. She's sort of grimacing as though she's experiencing it herself. It's not great for JP Bush, but he does lead by 3 points as we go into the final end here. Jean Pizarro of Puerto Rico is in the match, but trailing by 3.
Third point. Third point. Just what we get 7.
A little reset.
One of his longest holds, but still results in a 10. Final arrow of Pizarro. Done well to make the final 4. Wants to finish with a perfect. And he does. A lovely performance from the Puerto Rican here. But as you can see, a 7 will give Bush a draw. Anything more, and he's got the bronze. Oh, it's a perfect finish. There were 4 perfect 30s in a row from JP Bush, dropping just 1 point in the first end with his second arrow. He was all over the shop mentally, but he was too much to handle for the president of the Puerto Rican Archery Federation. Jean Pizarro will come away with 4th place, something that perhaps he wouldn't have expected coming in, but JP Bush will be on the podium here in Antalya, and he'll pick up a load of ranking points going towards his qualification potentially for the Hyundai Archery World Cup final. Well, we look back, Pizarro, we hadn't talked much about him because JP Bush was going through that turmoil, but it was an incredible performance from him throughout the entire tournament. 7:05 to get to this point and make the final 4. He must be a very proud man.
Yeah, I mean, he's pushed all expectations, doesn't he, to get this far and just come out of nowhere. So it'll be interesting now if he's coming to other events this year, and can he repeat this again?
Yeah, can he repeat it again? He'll be looking forward to doing that. But JP Bush, well, I think he'll be looking forward to getting back to the practice range. He'll collect a bronze medal a little bit later. But before that, we are going to turn our attention to the final here in Antalya.
And now, please welcome the athletes to the field of play.
Well, here we go. It's the compound men's individual gold medal match at the Hyundai Archery World Cup Stage 1 in Antalya. Let's go down to meet the athletes.
On target number 1, representing Netherlands, first ranking in the world, Mike Schlosser. On target number 2, representing France, world ranking 11, Adrien Gauthier. The line judge for this match is David Catalan.
Well, it's a huge lineup here. In form archer Adrien Gauthier from France picked up an individual bronze medal at the second stage of the Hyundai Archery World Cup last season in Lausanne. Team silver at the European Championships, but he goes up against someone who's won World Championships indoor, outdoor and in the field, and is a 3-time Hyundai Archery World Cup final champion, most recently in 2021, and that's this man here, Mike Schlosser. And it will be the Dutchman to get the gold medal match underway, and Mr. Perfect starts with a 10.
Nine points.
Big adjustment of the sight. Let's get himself back into that 10.
9 points.
Interesting, up in the 9 for Mike, just didn't look quite the normal kind of release we see.
10 points.
Good.
10 points.
Immediately corrected. There's that flamboyant release with the back arm that we saw in the semi-finals, but a 28 plays a 29. Okay, not what we expected from Mike Schlosser, but Gauthier has dropped one more point, and Mike Schlosser finds himself in the lead.
Yeah, it's unusual, isn't it, to see 2 9s dropped in the first end there, but Adrian's just got to reset himself and get back into this. You know, they've all gone left there, we can see them a little bit high maybe as well, but just settle down into this match and see what he can do.
There was that high 9 and the big adjustment we were talking about, Nicky. First arrow from Gauthier going high and corrected things for the second, but then shot us another 9. So he will shoot first in end number 2, trailing 28-29. Remember, the winner of this match books themselves a place in the Hyundai Archery World Cup final at the end of the season, as well as standing on top of the podium here in Antalya, which in itself is something very special. Well, spread of arrows here from Gauthier is perhaps going to be the telling factor in this match. Starts with a 9. Schlosser in the middle of the target with a 10, and aside from that very first arrow, the grouping is looking very good.
10 points next.
Well, 28 from Gauthier again, and it's a perfect 30 from Mike Schlosser. Opens up a 3-point lead. 28, not normally enough at this level against anyone, but when you're facing Mike Schlosser, the writing might be on the wall already.
Yeah, it's just too much to give away, isn't it? He's got to reset himself, just try and get back into the match. But yeah, shooting against Mike Schlosser, 4 points down, dropped. That's going to be a tough one.
10, 10, target 2, 9, 10, 9.
I think, you know, like that first arrow for Gontier, it went high, and then he made this big sight adjustment, and then the second end he went low. So, you know, was it just a bad shot, and then he adjusted his sight and then shot another good shot and it went low? You've really got to trust yourself. Was it a good shot? Shall I move my sight, yes or no? If it wasn't a good shot, leave it alone, just shoot a good shot again.
Well, Gontier trailing by 3 already. We're just into the third end here of this gold medal match. And it's Mike Schlosser, but the Frenchman will shoot first. Just got to think about the centre of the target, hitting it time and time again, going through your process.
Again,
just outside, but it's by a very, very small margin.
Verder.
10 points.
Hoge X.
10 points.
I think Mikey's in his groove now. He's just, there's no pressure for him, is there? And he's just sending them down with real confidence.
A perfect mix from Adrien Gauthier.
Chance for another perfect. Held that one on for a long time, a little bit of a wobble, but a 29 is parity in the third end, so he's going to keep that 3-point lead, Mike Schlosser. Big shot. He's got 2 29s and a 30. I feel a bit strange asking this question, Nicky, but he's in a lot of form, isn't he, Mike Schlosser?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes what your opponent's doing can affect you in a way. Like if the standard's a little bit lower, sometimes they just drag you down a little bit, you know, because you haven't quite got the same amount of pressure. I mean, it can work either way, can't it? But hey, this is the first stage of the year, and it's so hard to recreate what it's like to stand on this stage and, you know, get in your spot for the finals. I mean, it's just such a big event. There's a lot of prize money at stake. There's a lot of pressure here. You know, even winning a stage here, standing on the top of a podium is worth 3 times what it is to you financially than being silver. You know, you want to be on top, so you've got to find his form.
Yeah, interesting point there. The biggest prize pot actually this year for the Hyundai Archery World Cup Series. So yes, these guys are all about performance. It makes a difference. Gontier trailing by 3. We'll start in number 4. Another 9 from him. And it's seemingly that this mountain is getting steeper and harder to climb. Schlosser back in the centre.
Points again.
It's interesting because there's nothing massively obvious that's going wrong, is there? It's so intricate. It must be balance or feelings. Just aren't the same each time, but there's nothing glaringly obvious which is sending these arrows all over the 9.
Points.
Well, if he was off form, it was only momentarily. That's another perfect from Mike Schlosser. And this lead, I would almost go on to say, it's as close as it can be to unassailable. 5 points, massive difference with 3 arrows to go.
Yeah, not a lot you can do now. I think just use experience of where you are, do the best you can. You know, a little bit to go away and rebuild on perhaps, but still a fantastic achievement to get onto that podium.
Yeah, bags of points as well towards the Hyundai Archery World Cup rankings could prove critical. So start of the fifth end, Adrien Gontier of France, trailing by 5, will shoot first. He's got to put the score out of his mind and just put down some big arrows. Hits the line for a 10.
Another one in that mix, just ripping that target face up in the middle.
Well, 29 to finish for a 1-4-2, and I think we're just 1 hour away from celebrating with Mike Schlusser. 148 and another perfect score from him, and the title here in Antalya in the compound men's individual competition. He has taken the first stage win. Gabi Schlusser's wife looking on and celebrating with him, because not only is he the champion of Antalya, this first stage win books him a place in the Hyundai Archery World Cup final at the end of the season and takes all the pressure off for the rest of the season. Confirmation that Mike Schlusser of the Netherlands is the champion of Antalya.
And also for our silver medalist, Adrien Gontier, France.
Gontier collecting the silver medal, was a little off form in the final, but he did enough to stand on the second spot, pick up a hat load of points to go towards his Hyundai Archery World Cup ranking. He's the man, Mr. Perfect is the champion here in Antalya. Well, that's the last of the action. The men's gold medal picked up by Mike Schlusser. Starts the new season as he ended the last with a title win. And very shortly we'll get a chance to hear what he has to say. Be interesting to see what
Mike, you come
he's
into
looking
this season
forward
the
to.
defending World Cup champion, and you've won this first stage of the year. Must be a relief.
Evet, ilk kısmını kazandınız. Bu yılki Dünya Okçuluk Turnuvası'nın ne düşünüyorsunuz?
Yeah, definitely a relief. Like if you come into the season straight up winning the first stage there is, like it just gives a lot of confidence for the rest of the season.
Evet, bundan sonrası için de çok büyük bir güven oldu benim için. Heyecanım büyük ve başardığım için çok mutluyum.
Some of the level you were shooting in that field, I mean, I thought the world record was at risk at one point. Was that going through your mind?
Evet, bu Dünya Kupası'nda tabii bir risk gibiydi. Bu aklından geçiyor muydu yaptığım bu atışın bu sonuçlarının doğurması ve kazanabilmem?
No, not at all. You just want to go there, give it all you have, and just make good shots. And that was the only thing I was in my mind at the moment.
Benim aklımda o anda tabii ki de böyle bir şey geçmiyordu ama attığıma dair çok sevindim ve çok da mutluyum.
You've won the World Cup final 3 times already. You're building a legacy as one of the best to ever do it. How important is this start to the season in that quest?
3 kere Dünya Kupası finallerini, birincilikle yani 3 kere Dünya Kupası finallerini kazandın. Bu gerçekten çok farklı bir rekor olmalı senin için de. Ne düşünüyorsun?
It's very important. Like you know me as well. Like I want to win every tournament there is, and for this, like there's no exception. Like I just want to show the best that I got, and I think I did it this time.
Evet, gerçekten hiçbir şekilde bir şey kabul etmiyorum. Bunun için bir bahane kabul etmiyorum ve kendim elimden gelen en iyisini yaptım. Umarım da herkese gösterebildim bunu.
Congratulations and good
Thank
luck
you.
for the rest of the year.
Çok
Appreciate
teşekkür
it.
ediyoruz ve başarılar bundan sonrası için.
You know me, I want to win every tournament. I mean, that pretty much says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's such a great competitor, has been for many years. He's, you know, won the last 2 finals as well, and I'm sure he wants to make it 3 in a row.
Is coming up next.
Well, we wait for the medal ceremonies as we get a look at the French team. 2 of the podium occupants are from France. Is it possible Mike Schlosser could win every stage?
Certainly a possibility, yeah. I mean, I think we're going to see him in the top 4 of every stage. I would kind of expect that. But, yeah, let's see. Let's see who can take it away from him.
I think that is potentially one of the stories to look forward to this season. Can Schlosser totally dominate the men's compound individual this season? It's strange to say with a 148 out of a 150 in the gold medal match that he looked slightly off form, but he did. He really did. And he still shot 148.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I think
the victory ceremony
he's one
for the
to look out for this season yet again. But we're going to finish proceedings here with the medal ceremony for the compound men's individual tournament. Just like that, compound Saturday is nearly over.
Medals will be presented by World Archery President Professor Dr. Uğur Erdener. Flowers will be presented by Turkish Archery Federation President Mr. Abdullah Topaloğlu. Bronze medal representing France, Jean-Philippe Bourges.
Well, he looked so good in the semi-final, very strong indeed, but he lost out to Mikey Schlosser, arguably the best archer of the moment. JP Bourges battled with a lot of anxiety in the bronze medal match, but somehow managed to find his way through and gets on the podium for the first time of asking in this 2022 Hyundai Archery World Cup season.
Silver medal representing France.
Bourges joined by his teammate Adrien Gontier. He looked a little shaky in his semi-final, but just wasn't quite up to it in the gold medal match. He came through the semi against Pizarro of Puerto Rico, the surprise member of the final 4 here in Antalya. Gontier just didn't have enough in the final against Mr. Perfect. Picks up the silver medal though, so 2 for France out of 3. But the man of the moment, well, he's the champion in 2020, the champion in 2021, and he's begun the 2022 season with a stage win here in Antalya. It's the Netherlands' Mike Schlosser with the gold medal.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Netherlands. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause to all our athletes.
Well, there we have it. First chance, first stage win for Mike Schlusser. He's booked his place in the Hyundai Archery World Cup final. I don't think even if you stand on your tiptoes, Mike Schlusser, you're going to go shoulder to shoulder with JP Bush. He is a giant. The two Frenchmen, Gontier and Bush, complete the podium here in Antalya, Kanyalti Beach. And here are the final rankings for the event. Schlusser at the top of the par from the two Frenchmen. Pizarro, a fantastic story here in Antalya. The president of the Puerto Rican Federation making it into the top 4. Nikki, it's been an absolutely tremendous day here on Compound Saturday. Your highlight?
Yeah, I think the highlight for me, Ella Gibson, she wanted to make the top 8 here. She said the top 4 would be nice. Talking to World Archery, she said, screw it, I'm going to go all the way. And she did.
Yeah, she certainly did. And we're getting a look at her here in her semi-finals and finals. It was a brilliant performance from the British archer to claim the gold medal in the compound women's individual tournament. She beat Alejandra Escueno in the final, the Colombian collecting silver, and Lisel Yatma of Estonia collecting the bronze medal. But that's the winning moment for Ella Gibson. First time, we think, in over a decade a Brit has been on top of the podium, and perhaps the first time in over a decade that a British athlete has made it to the Hyundai Archery World Cup final. Gibson, a special moment for her. We turned our attention, of course, to the men's tournament and the 2020, 2021 and 2015 or 2016 champion Mike Schlusser, 3 times champion of the Hyundai Archery World Cup final, taking a stage win here and booking his place in the final as well here in Antalya, standing on the podium with Bush and Gontier of France. But that's it from Compound Saturday here on Konyaaltı Beach. Thank you very much for joining us. Do come back tomorrow for Recurve Sunday.